Ahoy hoy there, fellow YouTuberinos. How you doing? It's the Lazy-Eyed Modeler here. Time to do an update, or what I'm now calling Toss the Sprue. And if I don't yap on too long about other things, I'll also do a review on a couple of old modeling books, as I've done in the past. So to start off with, I just want to make a quick comment on our recent video that somebody made, namely CT, Charty, what else do you say? CT, I don't know what's in the water down there, my friend, but oh boy, should be interesting to see what Charty teaches us. Yeah. Okay. Second thing, inspiration. A lot of us get our inspiration from the videos we see here on YouTube. You know, Chris Chapman, Dr. Cranky, CT, Styrene Junkie, even though he's struggling right now, you know, with being so busy. His tribute build's fantastic, and his other builds are great. Classic Plastic 101. Well, you know all the people out there. I mean, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're subscribed to all the others, so you know what I mean. We gain a lot of inspiration from our fellow builders here on YouTube. But sometimes, well, I mean often, you get inspiration from elsewhere. You've gone to a car show, you've seen pictures on the net, you've seen, pardon me, books or magazines or whatever. And so, I should have the props ready, but I don't. Anyway, it's not far. Inspiration. Now here's one that has really inspired me. This is a Canadian magazine called Canadian Hot Rods. It's a pretty good little magazine for Canada. Terry Denome does a great job of putting out a good magazine, and I'll just show you the cover of the December issue. It's pretty cool. The automotive artist named Jeff Norwell does the covers for the December issues for Canadian Hot Rods, and I think that's really cool. Now that could, that in itself could be inspiration, but what I'm particularly talking about, normally I don't show too much in the inside of hot rod magazines, but looky there, isn't that sweet? I am inspired. It might not be right away, probably not till next year, but I'll try to get the reflection off that. But that's one sweet little 32 deuce two-door sedan, and pretty much everything you need to build this is in that kit right there, the 32 sedan street rod from Revell. And about the only thing you have to source is there's a moon tank on the front of this hot rod. Right there. And you can get that from, I think, the Stacy David Rat Roadster kit by Revell, or you could also get it aftermarket from Detail Master. So that's pretty cool. So I find that to be very inspiring, especially since you can do a build of it without doing too many modifications to an existing kit. I like basic inspiration like that. And like I say, if you go through Hotkey or someplace like that, you can hit files and files and files of pictures from car shows and whatnot. So Hotkey's a good site to dig around in. Tim Boyd, who's a famous modeler who does all the articles in Scale Auto and Model Cars magazine, he has a great Hotkey site with a lot of building how-tos and uh, inspirational pictures anyway. Kit reviews, that's what I'm looking for. And so if you think of it, he's under in Focky under Fun Man, and there's some numbers under it, and I didn't write it down, but if you want, go into Focky and check that out, and just float around places like Photo Bucket and Flickr and Focky, and I mean, you can find a ton of inspirational pictures to get your juices flowing for building, for, well, especially for model cars. I'm sure there's armor and planes and sci-fi and stuff in there too as well. I just tend to look when there's links on model cars web board or Spotlight Hobbies web board, and go digging through. But that's a great source for inspiration. What else? I think that's it for my little bit of a talk here. So we're going to take a quick look at a couple of old books, and that'll be it for today. So, as we know, pardon me, there is a magazine out there named Scale Auto. This is the latest edition, and I'm sure probably anybody watching these videos who are auto modelers are quite well aware of Scale Auto. And speaking of inspiration, those two CUDAs and this GTO from CUDAs are from Rod Maskew, and the GTO is by Tim Boyd. And they're not models that particularly interested me, but boy, after reading these two articles, yeah, I might consider doing one of each. Anyway, years ago when this was first founded, Scale Auto, it was known as Scale Auto Enthusiast, run by, I believe, Gary Schmidt, and until he sold it to Comback, and then Comback Publishing eventually shortened the name to just Scale Auto. But back in the day, when the magazine first started, they, after it had been going for a number of years, they decided to take some of the articles from the magazine and publish them in a book form. So, without further ado, this is volume 1. If you're looking for on eBay, I don't know if they show up. I haven't done any research that way, but there's some cool articles in here. Building a Mazda RX-7, doing a Union Service Center station, and a Petty 72 Charger, as well as opening doors, detailing engines, working suspensions, paint and finishes, customizing. There's a review of the 4 57 Chevy kits that were available in the day. All sorts of neat articles. Now, with any older kit, you have to realize that some of the information is kind of out of date, like paint. You know, certain glues weren't available, different products that might be mentioned in these books are no longer available, and there's new ones in their place. But anyway, yeah, here's the one on detailing supplies, and I think at least half of them are gone now. But there's an interesting 2-axle trailer plans in there. There's scratch building a fire pumper. Very cool article. There's some resin casting information, basic resin casting information. Just neat stuff. And I mean, if you happen to find these at a decent price, it'd probably be worth a look. And I guess this first issue was so successful that they published a second. And the second one, of course, is Building Model Cars, the Best of Scale Auto Enthusiast Magazine, Volume 2. And it contains, again, articles from 79 to 1984. It covers things like making steerable wheels and opening doors, chopping a mercury top, adding realistic chrome trim to your models, create a chassis in metal, scratch build a Pioneer pumper, restore old models, use photography. Of course, this is before digital cameras, so but I'm sure some of the hints had probably come in handy. One of my favorite articles ever that appeared is Dirty Old Dodge by Terry Jesse, and it's one of the early articles where anybody discussed weathering and whatnot. Cool article there. Let's see, what else have we got? Mercury Kit Buyer's Guide. Of course, there again, that's a little bit out of date because the fine Revell Mercury kit that came out, what is it, 6-8 years ago, it would not be included. Again, scratch building. Tim Boyd builds a Charger dragster and trailer and whatnot. Tells you how to do bare metal foil, which was fairly new at the time when that was produced. Even how to light a model. There we go. That's part of it anyway. Now there again, that's probably out of date because you'd really want to use LEDs this day and age, but the basics could help you. And then there's a extensive article on detailing NASCAR, unraveling the snake pit of NASCAR detailing. It's an excellent, if you're into NASCAR, and there's not, I mean, back when this was published, that was really hot. You know, Monogram was coming out with the kits really quick and whatnot. It's not as popular these days, but it's a great article for just learning how to detail. There's article on 1/32 scale trucking, turning point, doing steering wheels, and yeah, all kinds of neat stuff. And there's a real neat article about movie models from the 20s and 30s, wooden models that they used to crash and wreck and stuff, so they weren't doing it to the real thing. And then my favorite is one on building the ultimate Cadillac limousine, and it's one that I used to produce my 67 Charger town car, which you can see in one of my much earlier videos. So anyway, if you see these books online and you can grab them, some good basic information there. And it's just neat to see what the state of the hobby was back in between 79 and 84. It's kind of a neat historical perspective on things. And finally, I just want to mention that I've now been on YouTube for a year. My first YouTube video in addressing the modeling community anyway was November 25th, 2013. And here we are, November 30th, so I'm just past the 1 year mark. Kind of cool. I'm not as active as some people, and obviously you're not seeing any builds out of me yet, but I swear it's going to happen. Still got to get around to cleaning this. Been really tired lately. I don't know how Styrene Junkie does it, or any of you that work long hours and then still get to the model bench, because I mean, I worked a 12-hour shift the other day and I was just wiped, and guys are doing much more than that, so I commend those of you who do get to it and get it done. Anyway, I'm going to stop yapping for now, thank goodness, and hopefully I can sleep tonight. Last night I woke up screaming, "Charty!" My wife asked me what that was about, and I said, never mind. Anyway, just kidding, guys. Hope everybody's having fun. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving down there. It's a nice mild day up here. It doesn't feel much like Christmas, but we know it's coming quick. Anyway, gotta go. Take care, everybody. Peace. Be calm. Model on. And all that. Have fun. Bye now.